rather can't be played around as easily. So for Weibo Gaming Lyric, Huanfeng, who never played Jinx before last series, before the last two series, now has it available to rinse and repeat again.
And I'd be a little bit surprised if Weibo don't just go towards it again, just highlighting the fact that Elk hasn't picked that one up yet. But no, they're prioritizing the Aphelios instead. I think it's going to set up really easily for Ultra Prime's composition and what they're able to look for.
Thresh
Instantly bringing the Thresh to be able to bring in that mobility. Now for Ultra Prime, I mean, I think you look at AD carry and jungle here, right? You can go towards the Jinx that we highlighted, the Xin Zhao still being something left available as well for Hacker.
Yep. And
I'd be really surprised if Ultra Prime don't go towards that rotation, because that has been the stock and standard rotation here in the LPL almost every game. We do see some teams diverge from that one a little bit, but Ultra Prime, I think, have been one of the teams who have been more standard in the split, but no. Instead, going to get ShiauC on one of his patented hook champions.
That's right. ShiauC welcomed us to Hook City when he came back in the LPL. Remember the Blitzcrank, remember the Thresh, remember the Nautilus. Everyone belongs in that Hook City, so again, another piece of comfort. While for Weibo Gaming, this has been a pick in the LPL in 12.2. We have just seen skyrocket. Teams now suddenly like, hey, let's add the engage of Hecarim once again. 13 games played in total. I believe it is 9-3 at the moment. I'm just looking there. 9-4, excuse me. And no, forget that pick. We have a Veigar. Don't worry about Hecarim anymore. Veigar returns.
Yeah, second Veigar of the LPL so far. We did see Fofo bring it out. Actually, that might have been yesterday.
Yep.
I don't know.
It was.
I was gonna say, I cast a lot. Sounds like it was yesterday. Did lose, though. Did not work out in the end for Fofo. Obviously brings a ton of zone control into these team fights. As Hysterics whispers sensual nothings.
Oh, it's sensual everything. He's still Baron with a Veigar. It's worth mentioning. Hey, I'll bring you back on track, though, because don't worry. I believe my gorgeous partners arrived with a bit of Colonel on the side, you know what I mean? We have Colonel on the Chinese broadcast, so I had to say it. So, power to be. Lyric, we've got junglers getting banned away. Now suddenly I'm cheering up because I realize there's food on the horizon. Nard getting banned away from the TheShy. That's a bit of a comfort, bit of a historic pick for him as well. Hacker losing Xin Zhao. Still very targeted bans here, as we don't have a jungler on either side. So, there's going to be the pool shrinking down quite a bit. SofM left with the potential Lee Sin.
Yeah, I mean, you have other things, right? The Viego still being left open as well. We've already seen the Hecarim hover. For the side of Weibo, I think they do have the chance to pivot into more ranged champions. I'm curious to see if Ultra Prime will ban the Jace here, because you can just have Jace Veigar as your solo lanes. And then once we do get to the mid and late game, kind of posturing over dragon fights, Accelerate Shock Blast comes out. But Ultra Prime realized that as well, taking away that pick. Other things that would come to mind would be any type of, generic tank, the Gragas, which has seen its priority fall. But no, instead, just going to go towards that Hecarim when you are staring in the face of all this range on the side of Ultra Prime. I think it does make a lot of sense for SofM to go towards it. Has already played it once so far, and it was a win.
Was going up against a Viego this game around, though, from Hacker. The Gragas you mentioned is something that could come through. So ZS is actually going to take it before the TheShy. And now, what do you run into this? Because tank versus tank usually happens at the top lane when Gragas is involved.
I'm curious to see if the TheShy will go for some kind of AD carry, right?
Really?
Because it is a TheShy special, and you have such an easy time laning against Gragas as pretty much any AD carry champion. We might get the side grade of an AD carry, which would just be the Graves coming out. He'll have an easy time farming. Will have Prio up in that top lane. You get a bit of damage there as well. So for the side of Weibo and Ultra Prime, right? It's going to be all about team fights. Tons of AoE damage coming out on both sides.
Yep.
I do feel like Weibo's composition a little bit slower in terms of having that Veigar in the mid lane, but he should be taking Predators, so you have a lot of agency once you are able to push out that lane to look to make plays on sides. And for Ultra Prime, you have some ganks set up in your side lanes for Hacker to look for. Maybe try and punish the TheShy in that top side, who even this split is still playing oh so aggressively.
Yeah, he really is. Again, he's been pretty hot ramping up towards this week. We're in the middle of week 5, at least getting towards the end, I should say. And for Weibo Gaming, sit towards the top of the standings. If you've missed out on their little run, 6-1, they've recently 2-0'd EDG, 2-1 FPX, 2-1 V5, and have dominated everyone but PLG. Weibo Gaming, our current second best team, going up against Ultra Prime. And Ultra Prime, a 2-5 team that need to continue finding direction here. We talked a lot about Hacker influencing the bottom side, but Elk and ShiauC need to make a run of it this game and this series. Pummel Huanfeng on, build up momentum, and affect the game. Otherwise, for Weibo Gaming, top side. That solo lane power as well. That's what takes over the game for Weibo Gaming as well. So we welcome you into Summoner's Rift shortly with Weibo Gaming versus Ultra Prime. Lyric, as we run into this one, I like that you talked about the damage sources here. You talked about the team fighting potential. You talked about Weibo Gaming taking it a little bit slower. Veigar as well influences that as we see our second one returning to the LPL Rift. Something Orcs talked about, I believe you talked about as well, that we would start seeing, and I'm glad that we are getting more vibrant picks in this mid lane.
Yeah, I did get a buff on 12.2 to the Q cooldown, so having a bit more access to his damage. And yep, the Predator, just like we saw yesterday, as I was hitting on earlier, right? You can try and get some early pry on the laning phase and then look to impact sides for your team. For Weibo, I wouldn't be surprised if that is just up towards the top side. Not even just because it has been their identity as a team so far, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see TheShy go towards the standard hull breaker build that we've been seeing. Just help him maybe get some early kills and leave him to be that solo split pusher, getting all the extra resistances and damage onto turret later on, because you look over at the side of Ultra Prime, and you will have no one who will be able to match the split push coming out from this Graves.
Lyric, you know I've been duoing with Rusty's. We see a good trade here from Cryin. Remember first strike, so gets a nice piece of gold here against Angel, who's just forced backwards. I was going to say, I've been duoing with Rusty, and he's been picking Hullbreaker up on so many top laners, testing it out. Saying that it's a really good item at the moment. A lot of analysts as well talking about the gold efficiency on this Hullbreaker take. So, love to see it once again. We'll keep an eye out for that on the Fleet Footwork Graves in the top lane. I'm just looking across Rune, seeing if there's anything else that's outstanding or crazy. But again, apart from the Predator on Angel, which we'll be watching out for, everything seems pretty normal running into game number one. So where do we start off, Lyric? Junglers on the opposite side of the map. What should we be looking out for apart from this in-game? Okay.
Enabling TheShy. You can bring Angel up, try to have some three-man ganks set up towards that, set up for the split push later on. For Ultra Prime, I feel like your plan's the complete opposite. Doesn't really matter what draft they tend to run. You know Elk and ShiauC, so you're going to play aggressive, so have Hacker come down towards this bottom lane, get some vision down for them. And for Ultra Prime, their composition is definitely way more indexed into the mid and late game in terms of you have the Corki Jinx pretty much as your sole threats. You want to wait until Hacker has that level 6 available as well to be able to get some resets of his ultimate and take over skirmishes. So even though both teams kind of have champions that are indexed into scaling, the fact that Weibo have the Predator on their Veigar and you have, Hecarim Ghost Ganks able to come out very early on the game, I expect Weibo to be the ones able to make more early moves. For Ultra Prime, it's going to be more about isolated laning phases and Hacker getting down vision and allowing them to be able to do that.
Well, I'll be curious on Weibo's side just to watch the early Herald plays then, because package will be up for Cryin. We've seen a lot of teams prioritize the Herald rather than the Dragons, but again, with all this talk about bottom side, we'll have to see if Ultra Prime, once they get those ultis you talk about, start influencing bot side River, leads to a Dragon instead. As SofM is already playing towards his top side. To be expected here, smiting down the Scuttle. Bottom side, the only one available. Nice ward here from Ultra Prime ZS. He's quite low. He's going to have to pay respect to the potential dive, but as SofM backs out on a ward, looks like for now he can stay.
Still, though, SofM will now be able to get his back first, coming onto the map with tier 2 boots, so we'll have a bit of tempo. He'll have time where he can make a play where he's a bit stronger than Hacker on this Viego. Both junglers are level 4, though, so doesn't look like any skirmish will break out with the fact that Hacker is backing, but Weibo actually going to be looking towards this bottom side. We're going to see if On can set it up with a death sentence, maybe into the Lantern.
SofM has Ghost. Level 4 Hecarim can roll through. No vision in those bottom side brushes that'll spot him out. Walks through with this next minion wave. Teleport being used mid, so Cryin can't play defensive. And Hacker's heading towards the top side, and he will be spotted out on a ward momentarily, but trying to wait and see if SofM will get the same done to him.
And, seems like we're in for a bit of a slow burner. Weibo maybe baiting us a little bit with how proactive their performance was up against Edward Gaming. ShiauC.
Bang. ShiauC walking in rush, not expecting it. On to help. On wants to hook through, but gets it onto the support. Ignites down as well. The play flashed away from Gravitum at the ready to charge, but Huanfeng might have just used it. ShiauC gets away with his life, but has to burn the flash versus the Ignite from On.
Yeah, just overall worthwhile trade coming out from the side of Weibo. Especially when we were hitting on for Ultra Prime as a team and their characteristics, it typically has been about getting their bottom side ahead.
Yeah.
The fact that they're having to burn summoners is quite worrying still, though. Right, Hacker cleared from top to bottom, so he's always going to end up on that bottom side of the map to be able to look for opportunities to pressure. But Weibo have done such a great job of getting vision down. It was on the top side earlier, spotting out where Hacker is. Now they have some wards around the Raptor camp. You could see that Hacker's being spotted out. Once again, it looks like he did just clear that ward away. But Weibo have had full information of where Ultra Prime are on the map so far.
Oh, but I'm just watching top side while he's speaking, Lyric. That information also enabling TheShy to play as aggressive as he's playing. On the Grave, 7 CS the lead, but look at this. Zed's going to have to back away, burn the TP. TheShy continues sitting under the turret, knowing that when SofM's there, he can do what he pleases. Dragon being started by Ultra Prime, though. So at the very least, with topside getting bullied out, Ultra Prime hitting the objective that we talked about. Offside focus sets up the game. Cloud coming up next.
Yeah, so we are going to get a soul that is at least a bit more interesting.
Yeah. Maybe
get the Hex Gates onto the map, allow for SofM to find some cheeky ways into the backline. Now we're getting to the point where ultimates are coming up across the rift, especially once SofM is able to get his right. His ganks will just become so potent. You've already burned a summoner in the bottom lane as well, so would set up for a very easy time for SofM to look for that. Especially as it looks like that Huanfeng and On have been able to maintain push, so could potentially try and set up for a way to bounce back.
The flash from Hacker, but he misses. No! He misses the route down on. The hook comes through, but that also misses. So a miss for a miss. The bros play bro game.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really know what you said, but I'm going to agree that it's true. And, you know, off of those pro games, SofM getting down more vision.
Lyric, put it this way. When somebody misses, flashes for that as well, like Hacker did. On's obligation was to miss the hookers. If he didn't, that's, you know, it's like dancing mid when, I think it was Misfits G2 back at the end of an LEC season.
So what you're saying is that when the enemy dances in front of you, you're not supposed to just kill them and you're supposed to dance with them?
You don't say it's a competitive game. Say, honor the broker. In all aspects of League of Legends. This is a dive, though. Ghost coming through. Ignore me. Double flash play comes through. But On taking turret damage. First blood goes over to ShiauC. SofM just committing as well. L gets that one. That was just disastrous for Weibo Gaming.
For the side of Weibo, that didn't work out at all. And, Huanfeng commits the ult.
And won't get any more. Elk survives with both summoners available, and it's still a win for Ultra Prime.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, right, ShiauC committing with his hook at the same time. I do believe the Aftershock charge came off, able to lock down On, and you have enough burst on Elk right there where they are able to take it. We're going to go straight into the replay to see exactly how it did pan out. On gets the play immediately, isn't able to hook the Jinx. Yeah, just get ShiauC. ShiauC's Aftershock is proc. Elk able to just walk around the turret. And then we're going to see where Huanfeng stays and just use that ultimate. But no, I'm lying. We're actually not going to see that.
No, we're not. Herald's being started with all the shenanigans that happen in the bottom lane. It's so funny because Weibo Gaming, we talked about Huanfeng and On getting through the lane, but the dive happened. They felt confident. And while Herald's being done, Ultra Prime know they're going to be trading it for Huanfeng's turret plating at the bottom side. So even after the disaster, at the very least, Huanfeng is leading the lane by 10 CS, and now have 3 bits of turret plating to his name.
I also got a highlight as I look on my other monitor in a much higher resolution at that dive, with a really nice E to ensure that multiple people also got locked down in that play. Is Weibo gonna try and put some pressure on mid?
SofM, he's out with the package. I believe Cryin, lays it down. Huanfeng backing in a bad place. No flash from ShiauC, but Huanfeng has to burn his with the dredge line. Reaching out, Weibo Gaming. This early game, Lyric, is sucking.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going the way that they'd hoped for, right? We saw SofM, it looks like, trying to anticipate the fact that Cryin was walking in that direction, hoping he would fear. And now, for the side of Ultra Prime, zoning the Aphelios off of any CS.
It's great. It's great because now with the Herald on the bottom side, Hacker helping Elk push down this turret. Turret plating being traded back, and with the Herald placement as well. Lyric, I think first turret blood well and truly on the cards for Ultra Prime to push ahead in this early game.
Oh, definitely right. Ultra Prime should be able to secure this one. They are going to be able to whittle this down. SofM trying to posture.
ShiauC down. SofM going to take the depth charge. Will knock on past as well. The hooks this game have not been landing from on, and Ultra Prime gets the turret and get away with it as well with the 1k gold lead just about.
Now for Weibo, your only hope's really going to be this top side, right?
Well,
TheShy!
Solo kill flash for the collateral damage. But it is a flash down at the cost of the ulti. TheShy will stay in the lane with turret plating available. And you're right, it is up to the top lane now. Unless Weibo Gaming can get bot, which the answer is no.
No, for Weibo, no one's going to be in this bottom lane, so SofM going to commit some time down here. They shouldn't be able to find anything. The bottom lane turret only on 2 plates, though, so SofM just committing his attention here means that Weibo should be able to pick it up. Ultra Prime already pivoting towards the top side of the map with their bottom lane. Looks like they're going to hope to find a bit of a cheeky gank onto TheShy, who still does have his flash up.
Still does, but no collateral damage for the extra movement. You can see ShiauC is going around the wing, but he'll be spotted out by a good control ward. Smoke screen also slows down. So TheShy not going to be dying here today, ladies and gentlemen, as much as you want to see it. And note that he is 1,000 gold up in that lane, while for Huanfeng, he's actually still up in the lane, and he's going to get the turret as a response. So a net positive trade for Weibo Gaming, all things considered.
Yeah, equaling out on the trade. For Ultra Prime, the reason why you pivot your bot lane top so early, right, is to be able to, since you have tempo, get vision down first. Oh, that was nice from on.
Shy's like, nah, I'm doing Krugs. I'm not going anywhere near it. It's Krug time for me. And wants to pick up the CS because he's at 120 just about. He's going to let Elk walk up with the turret, but he'll also respond to the wave. So, Lyric, you're talking about while they're moving up their bottom lane to top, I want to note that Dragon is up and available, and surprising to see that Hacker will also have priority on this despite not having the 2-man down in this lane.
Yeah, the fact that Weibo did commit on up towards the top side to try to look for a play on the pushing bottom lane of Elk and ShiauC opens up for a chance for Hacker to start it, but I like Weibo instantly pivoting down towards the Dragon, stopping that one from happening, now going to get control of the mid lane. Since Ultra Prime got the first Dragon, looks like they're just indexed into the gold trade, wanting to pick up some plates. TheShy
wants to get away, has the flash available, collateral damage almost up and available, but he's run out of mana. The Ignite down, kiting through the minion wave to stop ShiauC. Back onto Elk, another rocket dodges. Nice little quick draw here from the top laner of Weibo Gaming. But now the rest of Weibo are on the way through. It's Huanfeng versus Elk, and that's an easy one. On with a flash play, and ShiauC immediately running out of mana. The dredge line, the last of it. A death sentence exactly in the name. A double kill for the bottom laner, and Weibo Gaming might have screwed up early, Lyric, but they're well back into this one.
Really nice reaction coming out from them as well to realize, like, hey, TheShy's buying so much time. We can commit our support up here. And we saw On was just hitting everything in that top side play to be able to lend themselves to an out. And now Ultra Prime not able to find any response on the bottom side of the map, at least not able to take away any camps. Yep. Looks like they should be able to get this Dragon, but SofM doesn't want to get this one up for free, but Angel pretty far behind in terms of movement.
Only just running around it now. Will be double Dragon for Ultra Prime, but Huanfeng, it was such a great play in the bottom side. I felt like Weibo Gaming were just going to lose it from there, but Huanfeng has just picked up 2 pieces of first turret, all 5 plates on the outer turret's Lyric before plating goes down.
Yeah, also, I'm a little interested to see, we'll get to it after the replay. Gonna see up on the top side here, Ultra Prime thinking they could go for this dive in top side. I mean, nice from ShiauC, right? Commits the ult, flashes in, gets the auto down for his passive, but TheShy not able to be taken down, and then the sidestep coming out for the rocket the whole time. On and Huanfeng were making their way up towards the top lane, has to grab him, gets the easy route, and then On here going the flash after Huanfeng takes the lantern, you get the flay down, sets up for a very easy hook to come out from On.
So what did you want to talk about before we get to the replay? What made you gasp?
Ooh.
Oh,
that we have ShiauC. We have ShiauC coming out for Angel.
Okay.
This is not what we saw come out from Fofo the other day. Not the typical solo queue build. Right. Usually it is Everfrost into, you know, like the typical full damage build. Things like Seraph's Embrace able to come out, Void Staffs, so on and so forth. But for Angel, it looks like he just wants to enable his team to be able to get in range of Elk and Cryin so they can take those fights, not just get chunked out by the Corki rockets later on.
It's literally, I think Veigar might be faster than Hecarim this game, Lyric. Like with Shirelia's Predator. Angel is going to be beating the horse. It's a great hook from On, but doesn't want to follow it through. Cryin has the package under his Earthness, and as Rift Herald number 2 spawns away. Hacker going to start this one, but Weibo Gaming look intense. They're through the mid. TheShy's joined up. Even with this whole breaker completed, they want to make this 5v5, and they're not going to give Ultra Prime what they really want.
Now for Weibo, they're sending TheShy back down towards the bottom side to try and put some more pressure down. Looks like he's going to look to recall instead. Does have teleport available for past 14 minutes, so those are unleashed. TheShy can teleport anywhere he damn near pleases. And now there's no package.
He's to the mid lane. You're right. Package has expired. Used out on the way out as TheShy now level 12. Noon Quiver in his inventory as well, folks. Almost a 2-item graze. Decided to help give pressure over to the Herald. So this one will be going over to Weibo Gaming, as SofM will be able to smite that one away. And Lyric, with this game, you talk a lot about the conditions being teamfight worthy, right? Slower fights from Weibo Gaming, waiting for Cryin to hit 2-3 items. Elk the same here as we get a small replay in the bottom of what happened mid. Summarize the conditions again as we get these first items across the board and where the game state's at with Weibo now having control of about 3,000.
Now for the side of Weibo, right, I think it's going to come down to your 1-4 composition. TheShy just going to keep playing these isolated 1v1s. For the side of Ultra Prime, I think you can send Hacker there and look to punish him, since, you know, typically you don't want those allies coming down, so you can get all those bonus resistances that Hull Breaker does provide. And then linking up, Angel, you know, answering on opposite side of the map, then grouping up as 4 and trying to find these picks around mid or being able to get into the enemy jungle. For Ultra Prime, I think you're still in a pretty fine spot considering you have picked up the first 2 dragons. So I think you're playing a bit of anticipation right now, waiting to see where Weibo decide to drop that Rift Herald. Just answering accordingly and just keep getting the key items onto your 2 hyper carries.
In pure scaling layman's terms, I'm not even sure if that was an English sentence. Does the Veigar build change how Weibo Gaming go into the late game? Like, is this built up to hit mid game hard and play around Hecarim speed, you know, on as well, finding a couple of those picks?
I think it definitely changes it, right? You're going to be getting less damage out of it. Still, though, the thing that's nice about Shirelli is just the fact that it is such a cheap item. It's so easy to buy. 2,500 gold, get it early on in the game. Like I said, the fact that you are enabling both SofM and On to be able to get on top of the enemy team. So it might signal that Weibo's planning on playing more aggressively than, you know, maybe we would have thought otherwise, and their 4-mid core just trying to hold in mid. But no, I do expect them to be trying to enable SofM to get on top of the Jinx and the Corki.
Got Chem Tank just picked up as well, so SofM is gonna be fast. Angel, again, I think he might even be faster with the Predator being activated. So folks, we'll wait for that next dragon to come up. As Lyric just mentioned to you, Ultra Prime have built themselves a nice little shield with 2 of them up in the early game. Hacker has been on that, as now off of that control ward taken away. 25 seconds, kill the Infernal Dragon, spawns. Herald placed down in the mid lane by SofM. Pings are getting smashed down, and that aggression we were just talking about, Weibo Gaming going to try and force them out of mid and break open the tier 1.
And Weibo even were able to commit to mid first, right? We saw both Angel and SofM, Angel and TheShy making their way over here.
Huanfeng with the ulti on misses the
They missed
hook.
everything.
Dredge line
missed
misses
everything.
as well. Yeah, everybody missed. Again, the Broadcode apparently are staying true in the mid game too.
Okay, Engage coming out now.
Oh, you're in the death gate here from Angel, waiting for the Primordial Burst. He uses it over the wall, and ShiauC's dead. Out with the SofM ulti though, and you're right, Hacker now ulting, but TheShy is left on his lonesome, which is perfect. Spread apart, Ultra Prime, run to their death with Weibo Gaming, get given a bit of a freebie.
Yeah, Weibo Gaming finding so many kills. I thought ZS came in with such a nice angle, but not able to walk forward with the other members of Weibo Gaming still there. Now for the side of Weibo, right, you have TheShy solo taking a dragon. You should be able to commit to that bot side to push out the wave. You see Angel already angling up towards the top side. Maybe for Weibo's bot lane, you can even look to steal away some jungle camps and just deny even more gold on the side of Ultra Prime. So really nice by Weibo to take control of the map state and deny a lot of gold from the side of UP.
Well, 6,000 just about the count, isn't it? Let's have a look at a replay, Lyric, because this was all over the place, and I was like, man, ShiauC walking back in, that's bold of him.
The Event Horizon, leaving him in a very awkward place. They're able to catch him out, but then ZS comes in. It's a nice 2-man stun, tries to, you know, push him into the enemy team. Elk's, you know, Chompers actually, like, locked them in place where they would have flown closer. But Cryin and Elk weren't able to walk forward, with Angel still hovering around the side, zoning them off. I believe On was as well. And now we're going to be left to this domination. 228 CS
Big
for
boy.
TheShy up against 146 for ZS. ZS honestly just can't do anything against him at this point, though. He's too tanky. He has the sustain coming out as well. And Yeah. This does not look fun.
Level 14 versus level 12, Lyric. The Flame Horizon well and truly on the way. Ultra Prime sending 4 people down for Might Shy. Good little body slam here with the explosive cast. He's in the smoke screen now. Wants to take the Gragas with him. Trying for it. Trying to survive. Mega Death Rocket, the ulti from Hacker. He's living. A quick draw away. He survived. Everyone's down there. And now with a hook and a Gravitum ulti, Huanfeng finds his next target, the Event Horizon. Down with another baleful strike. How did TheShy not die?
I don't know. He's able to get away, but SofM's going to keep looking for this.
Target, another good ult, but the onslaught of Shadows, almost a Doomus. Yep, ulti from Angel is a one hit. Nicely done once more. After the Primordial Burst is said and done, Angel picking up a kill. And Weibo Gaming, this mid to late game is going to be hell for Ultra Prime to deal with.
Just think about how we got, it's 20 minutes in, and there's an 8K gold lead. The first few minutes, like, Weibo were really struggling to be able to find anything and actually having to lose their flashes, lose out on plays. Now they're solidly in the driver's seat. Is SofM just going to show himself to try to zone them away from on, but they want to look for it.
Box is down, but he gets zapped. Elk with not enough mana to follow through, but to be honest here, On was already away. TheShy's back. He teleported to this, I believe, Lyric, because now top lane inhibitor is down, and he's just having a good old time again.
It is just great to be able to see TheShy playing like this once again, having a team around him where it is working, unlike it was able to work on the side of IG. And I think TheShy wins these every single time, Hacker. You got to get out of there.
What's he going to build third here, Lyric? The question I got for you as we go to the replay once again. After TheShy was like, I'll take 4 people on, let's see.
You know, we see doesn't get knocked back by the explosive cast. And then, you know, like you said, Hullbreaker, Shield Bow, ton of resistances, ton of sustain coming out. And the fact that ShiauC's not able to get in range to try and find the re-engage is a key thing. Allows time for the other members of Weibo to come over as we're going to come back onto the Rift.
Round 2.
To see Weibo looking for the Baron.
Yeah, they're doing it by themselves while TheShy is just sitting at a tier 2 mid turret. Huanfeng does this so quick with Crescendum, and SofM is going to be the resounding yes that secures the smite down. First game over to Weibo Gaming, feeling like it is TheShy targeted once again, but now the boys are back in town. Immortal Shield Bow keeps him steady, and he's running out of there with his head held high. Hacker gets burst down, another primordial burst, I should say, as Angel with a quick double, and Ultra Primer in trouble. LPL with Gale Force, and Angel still on the chase here, down from the skies, waiting for another baby cage, but Weibo Gaming's mid laner will survive for now. Turret drops down, and that's almost 10,000 gold in the chamber.
Again, think about the first few minutes of this game that we saw. And this is set up to potentially be a sub-25-minute game for the side of Weibo. TheShy just does not care. Walking up in their faces.
He's running at Elk once again. End of the line. Elk, if he sticks around, that's what it'll be. Level 16. There's a dark passage for him. He's looking at it like, does he need to take it? And the level 16 Graves is out now with a Flame Horizon. And the game at his fingertips, despite the 5-0 mid laner and AD carry.
Look, okay, I'm not going to be able to find anything.
Okay, ZS with a flank. They probably want TheShy. I'd be mad if I was them as well. On with a great hook, though. He sits in the middle with the Dreadful surviving for now, but TheShy finally dies. ZS living as well. Hacker turns into him. SofM wants revenge.
Cryin just got one shot. Cryin just got insta-gimped.
He did.
By Huanfeng. He thought he had him. He got the package down. I don't even think Huanfeng had ult in that fight either.
We're going to need to see that again because let's just look at the Graves. It was just 1v4ing.
Oh my god, I can't believe that damage. Like, yeah, I can't wait to see that again either because, again, Huanfeng didn't have ult up for that fight either. Pretty much just threw out the, I believe it was an Infernum, like, Q coming up. We're going to see how this all started, right? Actually, no, we're going very far back. We're going to a round when Weibo were taking the Baron, trying to find the engage on TheShy once again. You already hit it. Immortal Shield Bow coming out. Again, the resistance is starting off because he was alone, not near his teammates. Then for the side of Ultra Prime, able to turn this one around when the other 4 get there. But I don't care about this replay. I want to see the other replay of how Cryin just got blown up.
Get to see it, Lyric. I was looking at the Graves. I'm going to be honest, as a TheShy fan, but also as someone who's respecting his play right now. Eyes are on this top laner.
Bloodthirster now as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's
big.
He's not going down anytime soon.
He's walking right down mid lane like it belongs to him. And honestly, Ultra Prime need those 4 members once again here. It's on with the hook. Nice onto ShiauC, but he's not going to follow it through. He just wants to hit him because this game he's been missing quite a lot, if I do say so myself. Weibo in the bottom side. Look at Graves mid. TheShy walking in once again as the baby cage returns. and zoned off, the tier 3 turret once again drops.
And, I mean, TheShy putting up pressure on the opposite side. Looks like this will be a potential 3 inhibitor game for Weibo. And then if you just play it out slow and steady with all the super minions you'll have available, I don't even think two members is enough to commit to TheShy at this point. We've already seen them even trying to commit 3 and 4 members not having the damage to take it down.
He's just going to end. There's the Nexus turret number 1 going down. The minion wave's going to do it for him. He's walking up. Ultra Prime, probably now's the time as he walks backwards, but the minions are going to take it. Bad Nexus. Weibo Gaming playing with their food here, Lyric. As they walk forward, TheShy flashes in with the collateral damage. Event Horizon and a big old pony. TheShy on the Nexus and Ultra Prime. They just want to go next.
Yeah, and now for Weibo, I mean, again, that series just exploded out of nowhere. Sadly, it was not a pre-25-minute game. It actually ends just over 25 minutes. But we saw TheShy just complete utter lane dominance in the top lane, completely punishing the blind pick Gragas coming out. SofM was putting up a good amount of pressure once we did start getting to, I don't even want to say the mid-game. It was like the early mid-game. Like, hey, once Herald spawned, we started to see more proactivity coming out from the side of Weibo to find these opportunities on the map. And then, I mean, Ultra Prime just kept throwing themselves at Weibo, and they were never able to answer TheShy's push, right? They'd always send numerous members. They weren't able to hit the key skills to be able to lock him down and then get the burst coming out. And quickly it accelerated to the point where Weibo just had so many more key items than Ultra Prime that we got clips like, again, Cryin packaging Huanfeng, but it didn't matter. Bam, turns, hits him with one auto, and he's gone.
Yep. I mean, again, just showing kind of the desperation after the second, third try, but the first time especially, a very entertaining play when he still doesn't go down. But I think the more important thing is that in that game, we talked about TheShy's lane a little bit. ZS did 4k damage, and Hacker did 3k. Because TheShy didn't let ZS lane, and Hacker was always in neutral.
I mean, to be fair, right? I mean, again, you're playing Gragas. You're playing Gragas into Graves.
That's true.
Not really being able to find too many opportunities unless your jungler is able to come up, lock him down, buy you the space to walk up, look for the body slam, use the cast, knock him maybe under turret or into those early game plays. But we never got to see that from Ultra Prime. Hacker never found avenues in the top side. And I feel like one of the silent MVPs of this game is the vision control coming out by Weibo. Because think about the first 10 minutes. Weibo always knew where Hacker was, which set up for TheShy to have that lane domination in top side. And, you know, SofM to pretty much play freely wherever he wanted on the map.
Good point. I mean, it's the vision control that we noted around the enemy blue buff Raptors as well that we pulled out. Feels like for Weibo, you know, again, this is something we've talked about in recent series too. I think against EDG, it was also a bit of a silent hero, right? Because at that point, in EDG, it was tracking Jedge, it was TheShy getting in his face as well. That made so much work for them. Made it so much easier for them to, you know, pick these fights when they wanted. So at this point, Weibo Gaming still looking like a real stand-up team, despite the early game, despite the fumbles here and there, despite On kind of returning to some of his previous self. They still find the win through that individual skill we talked about. Lyric, we're going to go to a break. When we return, see if Weibo continue this transaction or if Ultra Prime decide that they've had enough and